Hello guys, today I want to share with you a few tips on how to live a cheaper lifestyle in terms of, economy while still being rather happy with it. And the reason I want to do this video is because the other day I was talking with some of my friends at university and I noticed, well we all noticed that I spend much less money than they do, and even what they pay for alcohol for a month can sustain me for 2.5 months worth of food. So you can see that some university students just do not manage their economy all that well, and then they struggle quite a lot. So hopefully with these tips, and I'll be able to reduce the amount of money that you need, and hopefully you'll lead a more stable life economically. This is a video focused more for students at university, but hopefully it can apply out to different lifestyles, such as a worker or even someone that has retired. So the first thing is, if you can do it at home, generally it's going to be cheaper than getting it out. Obviously, there are some services that you cannot do at home, and you need to do them outside. But the thing is, at the local pub, I paid about 8 quid for a burger plus a drink, and with the same amount of money, I can eat a whole week if I get the same ingredients at a supermarket. It's just all that drastic. If you can do it at home, generally it's going to be cheaper, and this applies to many different things. It can apply to alcohol. It can, drinking alcohol at home is generally cheaper than drinking it at a pub because there's a service tax, obviously. Um, in terms of food, in terms of cleaning, in terms of transportation, we'll get to it actually. That's kind of contradictory to what I'm planning to say. Then, in terms of quality, in terms of extra costs, do prioritize quality over quantity. Because the thing is, if you can have a great night out that will leave you satisfied for longer, generally it's better than going more often for an unsatisfactory night. Because it just builds up the cost, and you're not going to be all that happy about it. You're not going to be all that thrilled about going every 2 nights somewhere rather than once a week. So generally prioritize quality over quantity. Now, in terms of transport, I'm quite lucky and I live nearby my university, so I just walk there whenever there's a class. Um, However, I do know that some people don't have that advantage, so generally, for those that happen to be in that situation, I recommend you use public transport over private transport because it's generally going to be cheaper and you don't really have that many responsibilities over you. Then again, private transport does have its advantages. You can carry things with you, many more things with you. You are free to stop whatever you want. You do not depend on a schedule, to say, as to say. So it just depends on your situation, but if you can, public transport is the way to go. However, the best option really is if you can, walk and cycle everywhere you need to go at because those are for free. Now, there's also I briefly covered that again. I briefly covered this before, but in terms of addictions, do try to reduce your need for them. I'm not going to tell everyone to quit alcohol, cigarettes, sweets. It just depends on your occasion. I'm personally not addicted to anything in particular, so it doesn't really. I probably do not have all. I probably am not the best example in this particular point. But the thing is, if you can reduce the amount of money, well, the number of times that you need this addiction to fulfill this addiction, and generally you can do this by again the quality of the quantity thing. If you can just reduce your need for these things that are really an extra cost, it's generally better for you because generally these are things that are worse for your health and they generally have luxury taxes, and that is items that are not really necessary for you to live a normal life with. For instance, alcohol, cigarettes, and even sweets all get this particular tax, and it makes it much more expensive. Again, I'm not going to tell you to quit because the thing is you do need to treat yourself every now and then to not fall into the trap of treating yourself really often but not being as satisfied with them. So, um, basically, so far we covered do things at home, if you can, over having the service provided to you, if you can do it effectively in a safe manner. Do try to prioritize quality over quantity in terms of how you are satisfied for longer with one than with the other one, and the number of times that you need to do it. In terms of transport, generally prioritize public transport and ideally walk or cycle to everywhere you need to go. In terms of addictions, try to reduce your need for these items because they generally are bad for you and they are rather expensive. Now, another thing about it is really to downsize your lifestyle. By this I mean many people rely on money to have a good time, and I'm not going to criticize that. Every now and then, treating yourself with money to, go to a pub, to a club, to watch a film or whatever the case may be, it's a great thing. But here's the thing: many people rely on money to have a good time, and the thing is, I don't really get that. I do understand it. What I mean is, I do not get the sensation that I need to spend money to have a good time. I may just stay at home, reading a book for quite a long while, and I'll have a really great time. I may just walk around town and notice it in a different way rather than going to a foreign country. Then again, as you may know from the channel, I am really interested in traveling and such, so that's probably something that I will always spend my money on. That's one of the reasons actually I want to save for, to go traveling. But generally, try to lead a lifestyle that where you do not depend on a regular basis on money to lead a happy lifestyle. And with all the money that you save, you should lead a more economically stable lifestyle, or you can allow yourself to have some of the higher luxuries that again will leave you satisfied for longer. I, for instance, would definitely prefer having a really great holiday for, say, once every 3 years than going every year and not really having that much of a great experience. Again, I want to travel a lot, ideally, but the thing is, if I'm just going to have a better time going once than going 3 times, I'm just going to have a better time going that once than 3 times. It again, it just really depends on you on the particular situation. So I will just recap the video again. Do things at home if you can, because generally it's going to be it's generally going to be cheaper. However, there are some services that you need to get from an external source. Generally tend to prioritize something of a higher quality than quantity because it will leave you satisfied for a longer time. However, try to reduce the addiction level that you have to different items if you have any kind of addiction, whether that be alcohol, sweets, or tobacco. In terms of transport, try to prioritize public transport over private transport because it's generally going to be cheaper. However, if you can walk or cycle to everywhere you go, generally that's a better option. And then downsize your need for money, whether that be for accommodation, for traveling, or whatever. If you can lead a normal lifestyle or a happy lifestyle without the need for money, that is probably the best tip that you can have in terms of reducing your need for money. So that pretty much wraps up this video. I may actually cover this again in the future, but it's just I noticed there's quite a lot of university students that are struggling economically and really they are not managing their economy all that well, and they end up getting loans, more loans, and more loans, which eventually they will have to pay back. And that is just a stress that I do not want to have ever really. I really do not need all that much money usually to be happy. I mean, every now and then I do like to travel, whether that be just a nearby city or going to a different country. It just depends. It just changes. But the things on a day-to-day basis, I tend to live a much cheaper lifestyle than other people do. That saves me a lot of the stress that university can affect to different people. Obviously, this video doesn't really apply all that much with people that are economically really well. I'm not particularly especially rich. I would say I pretty much just had a little bit of a better start because we have been saving for university for quite a long while now. But besides that, I just do not spend that all that much, and I am quite happy with my lifestyle. So that's pretty much all that I wanted to say in this video. Right. Hopefully I'll be sending videos more often. It's just university I'm packing up have really got into the way of doing more videos. So hopefully see you soon. and well, try to lead a happier lifestyle without the need for money. It really gets a really big part of stress out of your life. See ya.